Great Lakes Prepping here. I recently learned about something that's pretty troubling, and I thought I'd make a quick video to talk a little bit about it because I think that if nothing else, it could be a learning experience for anybody out there watching. Basically, here's the story. There's a longtime viewer and friend of the channel who has been watching and interacting and chatting with me and other viewers for a number of years. Not quite since the beginning of the channel, but for quite some time anyway. And it occurred to me not long ago that I hadn't actually heard from him in quite some time. And I started looking into it a little bit just because I was a little bit curious and was a little worried. He was an older gentleman that I know had some health issues, and I kind of feared maybe the worst. And I ended up finding out what actually happened and why I hadn't heard from him. And it was actually quite a bit worse than the worst. I actually discovered that this person had died a few months ago in a house fire. In fact, him, his wife, and another family member all died in the middle of the night when their home caught fire. From what I was able to find out, it was pretty grisly, pretty much the worst way that you could probably go. There was evidence that they were trapped in the house and trying to get out, which means, and if I was to make an educated conclusion, that they didn't die peacefully in their sleep. They died pretty horribly. I actually found some information that said that the first responders were unable to even really get into the place because of the layout and the size of the fire by the time they got there and the amount of stuff in the house. And the report that I read said that after the fact, the fire investigators determined the cause to be a lot of space heaters all running on the same circuit, which caused an electrical fire. Also, they noted a distinct absence of smoke detectors anywhere in the house. And that's really the thing that's been bothering me a lot. Because, like I said, this guy, he was a big fan and supporter of this channel and of preparedness and prepping. And in fact, he considered himself a prepper. We had plenty of discussions about food preservation and food storage and all sorts of other topics along the lines of preparedness. But what bugs me so much is that he never took the absolute most elementary preparedness measures in the form of smoke detectors. Smoke detectors are so common and common sense that we learn about their importance in elementary school, and everybody who's not a prepper pretty much has smoke detectors. Well, not everybody, not enough people, as it turns out, but an awful lot, to the point where it's a requirement in any kind of place that is a rental, apartments, rental homes, etc. A lot of local occupancy requirements say you have to have working smoke detectors. It's part of occupancy inspections and so forth. But neither this guy or his wife ever made sure to have smoke detectors in the house. Stockpiles of food, water, defense measures, but not this most basic, ordinary preparedness measure, smoke detector. And between the maybe accidentally negligent way in which they were using space heaters and not having an understanding of the circuitry of their home or these space heaters or whatever, and their lack of smoke detectors, they paid a real bad price for it. And I'm having a hard time not being angry at him for this absolute lapse in common sense. I'm sad that my YouTube friend is gone, and I'm mad that he was stupid. So I don't know how to reconcile those two feelings, but that's what they are. So the lesson here is an obvious one. Put smoke detectors in your house if you don't have them. Make sure the batteries are good. Most smoke detectors these days will incessantly chirp at you if the batteries are starting to die. Some people hate that, and they don't have a battery to replace it with, so they take the battery out. Just replace the batteries. Do them all once a year. I do my smoke detector batteries as part of my sort of winter list. When I'm battening down the hatches for the year, that's just one of the things I do. And then I never have to hear that chirping, and I know all my smoke detectors work. And while we're on the topic, get some carbon monoxide detectors too. You might wake up to the smell of smoke or the sound of burning, or your dog might alert you. But with carbon monoxide, no, you just die in your sleep. So get these detectors. I know nobody likes to spend money on stuff. Everything's expensive these days, but it's not that much. And people die every year. Thousands of people die from smoke, inhalation, burns, carbon monoxide, and it's mostly preventable. Just get the detectors. And if you're watching this channel and you fancy yourself a prepper, and you're looking around your house right now and you're not sure whether or not your smoke detectors are working or if they have good batteries in them, then I'm going to sort of self-righteously insist that you never use the word prepper again until those smoke detectors are working and you know that they are. So that's it. That's my soapbox speech for today. The most obvious sort of low effort prepping that you could possibly do. And this internet friend of mine died because he couldn't be bothered to do it. That's it for now. The next video will be a lot happier and funner, I promise. So until next time, this is Great Lakes Prepping.